Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Nicholas Lorenz. I'm a naturopath out of Health First Wellness Center in Schaumburg. And today I'm talking to Vito Alberga, and he is a licensed clinical social worker. And you're real close by. And what's the clinic you work out of?
I have my own practice, the Center for New Pathways, and I work with children and adolescents and adults and treating anxiety disorders, depression, trauma, all sorts of things.
Yeah, powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful
Yeah.
and excellent work. Right, and we were starting to talk about CBD and how it kind of benefited both ourselves and then our patients, right? So I'll just say, I'll disclose, like sometimes I think too much, I can worry. I don't know if I'd call it anxiety, but I can't turn my mind off.
Right.
And that keeps me up at night sometimes. So I'll have insomnia, or I'll wake up early and be like, I know I'm not going to go back to bed. So this CBD oil, this one specifically, has really helped me with that. It's huge. I'm more refreshed. So it kind of helps me to just calm my mind. I'm not overthinking. And I say this because so many people have this. How has it helped you, Vito?
Oh, for me, and you saw me, like 6-8 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I had arthritis in my knee. I was having difficulty walking, even walking with a cane.
Yeah.
And then I started to use this product and walking fine, able to get up and down.
Yeah,
easy,
you were really excited.
No problems, yeah.
That is awesome.
And so I know that this really works.
Yeah.
Because I saw some immediate effects after taking this product.
It is pretty quick, isn't it? I felt it the first time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's funny because I gave it to someone else. They passed it along to their uncle who had Parkinson's, and he was amazed. Like, he was able to stand easily. His foot wasn't having any convulsions.
Wow.
It was pretty powerful. Like, people are dancing, literally. But, like, people are overjoyed because they can get their life back. So, I'll say this. We're learning more about this all the time. There has been a lot of research. I think there still needs to be more. But I think this is the next revolutionary product. And as long as we are cautious with it and with other medications, this can help a lot of people. In fact, they can say, you know, it's helped more people in more ways than you could say it wouldn't. Did I say that right? You know, it's helped so many things, from people claim cancer, Tourette's, you know, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, anxiety, depression. And at the end of the day, you just got to look at that evidence.
Right.
Because, again, I'll state, this is not FDA approved. So we can't say, hey, it's going to cure your cancer. And it would be disrespectful to say that. But people are finding benefits with all of these things. Right. So we have to acknowledge it.
And what I say is that really it helps with inflammation in the body.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this also works in our own endocannabinoid system. Correct. Which is why they're finding it works. So what is that? What is a cannabinoid? So basically, a cannabinoid is a chemical compound that is affiliated with the cannabis plant, although there are cannabinoids in other plants besides cannabis. So a lot of us have heard of THC, and that is one cannabinoid. There is another cannabinoid called Cannabidiol, CBD. I'm going to get sick of saying these words. But it's really important because it's like saying cannabinoid is a seasoning, whereas THC and CBD are salt and pepper. You know what I mean? And the reason we're all of a sudden caring about CBD is because, one, they found a great way to extract it from the whole hemp plant. It's like kind of sucking the life force from the plant to get the CBD. And it's got more therapeutic effects than THC. It's also not psychoactive, so you don't get a high from it. There's no addiction, which is one reason why they'll say it's better if you choose to do this with pregnancy than consuming marijuana, is one thing, and we'll talk about that later. So yeah, there's a science to it. We're learning more about it, but that's kind of the basic bare bones, that it also helps your own natural endocannabinoid system work. You know, there's CB2, CB1 receptors. They're affiliated with, fetal growth. Basically, it's kind of like saying it helps turn on receptors and it helps our body activate something it already wants to do in a way.
That naturally exists in our bodies.
This CBD is a spectrum. It's not an isolate because there are, besides THC and CBD, some other cannabinoids, I can't even think of the names right now, that kind of fill in the therapeutic gaps that CBD might not do. So that's why it's nice to have kind of a spectrum. This is also nano-enhanced. What does that mean? Basically, it just means that the compound, the molecule of the CBD is so small that it can get into your body very easily. They even say it can get into your capillaries. Because that's one thing, is our body is very good at breaking down compounds. So no matter what the potency is, whether it's CBD or a vitamin, if your body breaks it down, you're not getting it.
Right.
So that's one mechanism that's great about.
So basically what you're saying is that it can be absorbed easier from the cells.
Exactly. Okay. So that's the first way they do that. The second way they do that is liposomal delivery. So it kind of mimics our cell walls. So our cells have this phospholipid bilayer, encapsulates, that's the membrane of the cells. And this kind of it's like the key that fits, and it just kind of sneaks in there and helps the cell take this in. So again, this is My Prime Body. It is not the only one out there, but be careful because also hemp is a bioaccumulator. So it will take whatever is in the soils. So if you've got poor soils or toxins in the soil, it will get into your hemp. So this is made from the same Dr. Chris Shade that works out of Quicksilver, very notorious for his properties, the properties of his supplements and his procedures to make sure it's all organic. There's no junk in here. So it's a little more pricey, but I think it's potent and it's safe. So that's what I like this. So there are other CBD oils that have like 2.75 THC. Some might claim you need the THC for the CBD oil to work in the first place. I hear that's getting debunked. We'll figure out about that more. But what if you work for a company that has a zero tolerance, on THC? It doesn't matter if it's the 2.75. So that you're right. That's a good reason they've been able to extract that from this. I'll just say that it's really important to be in touch with your doctor, especially if you're on medications when you're taking this, because it's powerful. You had talked about patients with antidepressants.
Yeah, so I have some patients that started using this hemp oil, and with the supervision of their physician, they started to titrate off of their medications and slowly take the hemp oil, and they've noticed a significant difference.
Yeah.
With minimal to no side effects.
Right.
Yeah.
And because those antidepressants have their own side effects. Right.
Correct.
And we're going to talk about all the medications, but at the end of the day, 1 in 4 medications interact with each other.
Right.
So I know there was one doctor saying that, why would I not give them this if it does kind of the work of a lot of drugs, and then take them off these other drugs that have their own contraindications too.
Right.
So, but again, we got to be careful with this stuff.
Right.
You can't just start taking this without consulting your physician if you're on medications, and you can't just, because you love it, because people fall in love with this product.
Right.
You can't just give it to your friends without being first forewarned of the side effects. So let's talk about that. So this contains lemon and sunflower seeds, so real easily just be cautious with that. Some other side effects are tiredness, but I think that's also might be a desired effect.
Right.
So I always tell people, if you've got a big, busy day coming up, if you have to be very active, if you have to drive a lot, this might not be good to do.
Right.
People also claim it can incite diarrhea. My theory on that is maybe it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which gets our digestive system going.
Yeah.
Because if we're in fight or flight mode, we're not digesting.
You're restricting.
Yeah. So that's my thought on that.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can answer me the real reason. I don't know. And then the medications. So none of these medications are, saying you can't do CBD oil. You just have to make sure you're on the right amount and you're talking to your physician. I'm just really trying to hit this home. Right. So we talked about antidepressants because it can compete with the pathways.
The same pathways,
right?
As CBD oil.
So if you take this, your antidepressant might not work as much, or vice versa. So if you start having dark thoughts, suicidal thoughts, because if you start taking this, let's be cautious. The other thing is sedatives. It can be additive. So if you're on something like Xanax, Ativan, this can be, this can be risky. So again, monitor that. Check out your dosage. And then blood thinners. So basically, this will perpetuate warfarin, Coumadin in your body. So since it's not degraded as much because the CBD is interacting with that, we got to be cautious with that. You got to change that dosage. Again, it's not that we can't do these things. You just have to always talk to your prescribing physician, which you brought up. The other thing really important is I had a patient who was pregnant, wanted to know if she can do this. And the jury's still out on that. You're going to find research that says that THC and CBD is awful for pregnancy. You're going to find research that also says it actually helps your baby be smarter. You will find that. It's wild. There was a Jamaican study that babies had better global awareness, the ability to look at more than just what's in front of them because of the cannabis and even THC at that point. So even the THC and the CBD allowed them to have this broader spectrum of awareness.
Interesting.
So you're going to find everything out there. More research needs to be done. They do say that CBD is better than taking THC because it's not psychoactive. It's not addictive for the pregnant mother.
Right.
And I'll just say, I wish I could give a hard, solid recommendation, but at the end of the day, it's the mother's decision.
And the other thing is that a lot of people are finding a benefit in giving it to their children that have attention deficit and anxiety. And so children can take it.
Yeah, they haven't found any.
And even pets, there's some research to support that.
Right.
Giving it to our pets can be very helpful.
That is emerging, and I think we need more research on that. But yeah, that's a great point. Again, there's more that this can do than it doesn't. So Vito, thanks for your time and your expertise. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions for us about CBD, cannabinoids, it's been fun learning about this stuff. Please feel free to watch out, and thanks for watching the video.